There we go. Hey, I think this is working. Please tell me if you can't hear me. Well, that's actually very unuseful because if you can't hear me, you can't hear me. I just hope you can hear me. It looks like you can hear me. Hi, everybody. I'm Stephen Partridge. This is Quill and Sword. We love our technical difficulties around here.
It's also a signature of the show.
Yes, it is. It really is. Oh my gosh. Oh, I feel like that's our brand is technical difficulties and hashtag struggling. But yeah, also another thing we love around here, Syrinscape. They have awesome music and sound effects. We're using them. Check them out. Couple announcements. Firstly, we are down a Robin tonight. They're under the weather. It is very sad. We are hoping they get better. If you watch the Nerdarchy live stream, you already know what it is because they were struggling then. But hearts out to Robin. We love you. We miss you. Anyway, I have three lovely players here, SENITA, MARISA, and NATHANIEL. And we are going to have them recap what happened last time because I'm terrible like that. Let's roll a d6 and use it as a d3. Oh, that's SENITA. SENITA, you get to explain what happened last time.
SENITA was very sick last time.
I know, SENITA was very sick. That was evil. This is my evil side.
Hang on. I believe there was a boss battle, which is why I didn't back up. Okay, there it is. There was a boss battle. And we made the guy realize I forgot his name.
Eliath.
We made Eliath realize he was not fighting for the right cause. And that's the extent of my memory.
So we did also kill him, I think.
Well, yeah, he died. He turned to dust.
It's not like we talked him down.
Oh yeah. Talked him to death though. That's what I did. I didn't fight at all last round.
But you did have a sick burn.
I did. I'm gonna pass it off to MARISA.
So there was a big boss battle. Nim almost died several times. There was a lot of action, a lot of activity, big win. And then after that, we went into the kind of elven city area, and like the elves come out at nighttime because they're moon elves. That's correct, right? Okay. I was trying to remember. They're not dark elves, they're moon elves. So we went to a lovely cafe to have some stew and bread, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to NATHANIEL.
I got laid.
Yep.
That's the highlight. That's what matters. No, Wisp took over the performance space and gave a performance and caught the eye of a lovely local elf. And so Wisp did not go to bed alone that night. But we got to have a nice unwinding bit of time. Although we are in the process of trying to grill and get a whole handle on what the hell is going on with this group who had initially tried to kidnap Giselle. Because we've got two of them around.
Yep.
I remember numbers.
Yes, their names were Gareth and Sarah. And
my character would remember that. I would not.
Yes, you liked harassing Sarah. That's what I remember.
I liked harassing her a lot. They're both idiots, but she's a self-righteous idiot, so she's more fun to screw with.
Yes. So, with that being said, Robin, I have already discussed with them about what Masquerade is going to be doing tonight. So while you guys are off gallivanting, Masquerade is going to remain at the inn guarding those two and just watching them like a hawk to ensure that they and Giselle do not come to any harm or anything else, while the rest of you get the buck passed to you and have to explain to the elves why their leader is now dead. So, yeah, because that's a thing.
Oh. Why do there have to be consequences to my action? That is unfair.
We're never getting back to the castle.
It's dark fantasy. Dark fantasy is all about consequences. So, with that being said, we're going to dive right into Quill and Sword tonight. Woo-hoo.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I do.
We're back.
Right.
Without warning. Because I'm evil. I'm just so evil tonight, actually. I think that y'all should be hella scared because I'm in an evil mood. It's like, you know, where it says mood and then evil. That's me. So, last time we had you guys at a tavern. And as you wake up, it just so happens that it is actually coming up on morning. And so the tavern is fairly dead because these are moon elves and they tend to be nocturnal. So most people have excused themselves to begin their trances for the early morning. And then they'll be up sometime in the mid-morning. So, or late morning, I suppose. So we'll start with Wisp. Wisp, you find yourself in this room. The familiar figure lying beside you, just sort of huddled in next to you. And she seems to actually be faking sleep a little bit, almost like she's doing it for your benefit.
I'm going to gently kiss her cheek, see if there is a reaction for that, or if she's just going to keep faking the sleep.
She does do a let me check actually. She does a fairly convincing job of making you think she's waking up. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. I don't want to keep you up. I know you probably want to rest, but I didn't want to just vanish on you.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. Do you think we'll see each other again after this?
I don't know. I hope so. But with the things that I have to do and the things we have to figure out, I don't know, and I would never want to string you along. But I hope so.
It's just good to know that you hope so. That's all that matters, I suppose, really.
It's not, but thank you for saying that.
You're right. But, I mean, that's how these things go, isn't it? One night of merriment and pleasure, and then, next thing you know, it's nothing but a phantom in the night, as it were.
Well, Phantom of the Night is something that haunts you. I think this is something much more pleasant that just lingers at the back of the mind, something that you can revisit and reopen and remember.
Oh, I like that. It's like a little present you get every morning or every evening or whatever I suppose your sleeping inclination is.
Somewhat erratic of late.
Oh, well, I hope it gets better for you. I really do.
Thank you.
So, are your friends going to be expecting you, or shall you stay a while longer?
I can stay a little longer.
All right. Well then, let's just enjoy the now. And she sort of cuddles and snuggles in a little closer once again.
I'm very reciprocal.
Nim, you wake up to the smell of what smells almost like breakfast, except it's not the food you're used to for breakfast. You smell savory smells like meat, but it's not bacon. You're used to bacon. They probably can't get bacon out here. And you definitely hear cooking happening just up the hallway, because this entire tavern, as you remember, is in this ruin, and the rooms are kind of down in this cellar sort of area. So everything echoes from the main area, just dancing off the walls. And you can hear the cooking happening, and you can hear this faint muttering that sounds very familiar from the barkeeper. And she's muttering about, I don't know what humans eat for breakfast. I hope this works. Why did Jakira send me humans? I don't know what I'm doing.
All right, so I want to get up, and I feel like everybody needs to know that every morning Nim does like a really quick stretching routine just to get ready for the day and to greet the sun. And so Nim gets dressed, makes sure that she has everything she needs, like taps her apron pocket to make sure her Steve bells are still there and everything. And she's got like a couple of snacks that she stowed away, just bits of bread from dinner last night. And she leaves her room, and she wants to walk down to the kitchen area to just reassure the innkeeper and, you know, maybe get the choicest bits of breakfast before everybody else wakes up.
Okay. All right. Anu, you only transfer 4 hours, so would you be up and around in here? Would you be in the main tavern? Would you be in your room or exploring somewhere else?
I'm hang on, it's in my head. I just gotta get the words out of my mouth. I'm messing about watching the cooking, but like inconspicuously, not trying to scare anybody, but you definitely don't really know I'm in the kitchen.
Okay. All right. So you're watching this, and you see walking up these broken, crumbling stairs from the lower level is Nim.
Morning.
Morning, Nim.
Did you sleep well? Did you sleep? I apologize. That was a rude question. I don't understand what we all necessarily do. We all have our own nighttime routines. I know that Wisp had a fun nighttime routine, I assume, just by how Wisp left last night. But, you know, anyway, not that I'm spreading gossip or anything.
Yes, I had an enjoyable trance last night.
That's good. Are you ready for breakfast?
I'm always ready to eat.
Well, I think that our innkeeper is struggling a bit. concerned about, making food for humans, even though there's not one here at the moment. But that's okay. So maybe we should just go step in and see. And, if we happen to get the first plate, well, that's fine too.
Okay.
So, as you kind of bustle your way over to the bar area, you see that coming out of the kitchen right about now is the innkeeper, and her short hair is just all a mess, and she's got like sweat running down her brow, and it's kind of glistening off of her glowing eyes. And she holds out this plate, and she's like, good morning. I have some breakfast for you here. Traditional human fare, or as close to it as we can get here in the forest. And she holds out a plate that has strips of meat that have been cut very thin. It's more like a Canadian bacon style sort of thing, but not pork at all, definitely. And so it smells very different. It has a lot of heavy spices in it that you can smell and almost burn your nostrils as it comes to. There are eggs, and those also have a lot of spice on them that you probably wouldn't traditionally put on eggs. A lot of it is orange and yellow, and it smells spicy. And then there is some rice and beans, which is something you don't often see the humans eating for breakfast, but here they are, rice and beans for breakfast.
Well, this looks lovely. May I ask about this spice? It smells very delicious and interesting, and I'm always down to try whatever, but this is a new spice I've never encountered before. I'm very excited.
Oh, they're sun elven fare. They're called sun peppers.
Oh, sun peppers, I see.
You dry them out, you grind them, you put them on things. It's quite delicious.
Okay. So on a level from 1 to 10, how is this a very spicy experience? Should I get a glass of water?
Oh, maybe like a 4 or a 5. Nothing crazy.
All right, I think we can handle that. And can I ask what kind of meat this is?
Oh, this is venison.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know what to eat. I know there's meat involved, but I've never been incredibly close or participated in a human breakfast, really. So this is my attempt. Call it elven fusion.
It's perfect. It's lovely. It's delightful. I'm very excited about it. This is going to be perfect. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. For you, elven fare, or would you like to try the human stuff?
I will try anything that you put out.
All right, well, anything coming right up. And shortly she brings out 2 plates. One that is exactly the same as Nim's, and then another one that has rice and beans and like this relish that's hot and has like peppers and onions and spices in it, and it smells sweet, but it also smells kind of sour and spicy. And it's all still sizzling, hot, fresh off of the grill.
I'm about to burn my tongue.
Actually, Anu, you can, if you want, give me a nature or medicine check.
Okay. Let's see.
If you have an herbalist kit, you have advantage.
Have an herbalist kit?
Or proficiency in it.
Oh, hang on. What are you doing? Go away. Where's my character at? Okay, you said medicine or
nature.
Nature. Okay. Let's see. Medicine and nature. Oh yeah, they're right next to each other. Ah, they're the same.
Okay.
I got an 8.
An 8. Okay. So you've heard of sun peppers. It's not incredibly common for moon elves to carry them, but they consider it like a less traditional food. It's a little bit nicer, and it does usually pair pretty well with the savory, sweet, and various aromatic spices. Well, go ahead. Let me know if it tastes like a human breakfast to you. And she looks like really eager, and she's kind of got her hands folded, and she's like bouncing up and down, like just staring a little too intently.
I'm gonna get like a big old forkful with like a perfect bite, so just a little bit of everything on it, and then I take a bite.
All right. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Saw that coming.
18.
Okay, so the first thing that catches in your chest is that this is much more of a 8 or a 9 on the spice scale as far as you would be used to. But apparently she doesn't think so. And so it is really good, though. It's extremely hot, and it has this aftertaste that's very rich, almost like it's got more body to it than a spice or something as light as a seasoning should have.
Oh goodness. This is... okay. This is very good. I am enjoying the flavor immensely. Do you have any sort of beverages available? I would love one to go with this delightful dish that I will absolutely be finishing, but only in the company of a beverage.
Of course. Hold on. And she gets into the tap and gives you a tall, thin glass of alcohol.
I just take a sip.
Okay.
Okay. Quite the breakfast that I am enjoying it. This is a fantastic trip to the Moon Elves.
Anew. The elven food tastes very much like home cooking, like comfort food sort of thing. And the human breakfast is nothing like you've had before.
Overspice, but used to spices. I'm digging into both, just eating from one side back and forth. Yep.
And Wisp, let us know if you want to join now or later, because you are welcome to join whenever.
About how much time has passed since things were initiated?
Probably about a half hour.
No, I'm not quite yet.
Okay. All right. So the two of you are eating, and you see Masquerade comes out, gets a few plates of food, holding them like a skilled waiter, and then sort of nods to you two and says, I'm going to keep an eye on our guests and the little one, make sure they're all safe. Definitely not going to let them out of my sight.
That's perfect. Watch out for those peppers with Giselle. We do not need to encourage any further heat in that child.
Noted. And then they take those plates like a masterful waiter and get back into their room, where they have holed up with Giselle and the two ne'er-do-wells. You do hear Wisp grumbles and protests as Masquerade in the other room explains that everyone will be sitting here on the floor. Giselle may color. You two may color or sit quietly.
Solid plan.
And so as you guys continue through your morning fare, it gets to be about, I'd say, an hour into the time since we first initiated with Wisp and their company. And
I'll go to breakfast now then.
Okay. So you show up. What have the two of you been conversing about, or what does Wisp walk in on? You tell me.
It's a lot of me going, woo, okay, this is delightful. Sip.
I'm just enjoying this. I'm basically almost done my plates.
I like keep whispering, have you had these peppers before? Are they supposed to be like this?
Not at all.
So I'll approach the bartender or innkeeper, or what was her designation?
She's the innkeeper / barkeeper. She kind of does both.
Okay.
She wears multiple hats.
I'll approach her. The other two can decide if they're going to notice that my hair is very noticeably tousled, has not been properly straightened as yet. But I'll approach the barkeep.
Okay. Would you like elven, human, or something else?
I think the elven looks lovely. And is there any chance of getting a breakfast ale?
Absolutely. In fact, and she gives you the ale, and then she winks at you, and she throws on this pastry onto your elven breakfast, and it's spun in such a way that it's like a spiral. It feels very light and airy for its volume, but it clearly has filling in it.
Ooh. Now that looks delightful. Thank you very much.
On the house. I mean, we treat those well who treat us well, you know.
I do my best. I'll give her a wink. I'll join the other two with my plate.
Okay. Anu, you see that Wisp got a breakfast pastry that you did not. And it is traditional elven fare. It is very delicious. It's usually considered kind of a delicacy, and they're notorious for how hard they are to make. But this one looks just about flawless.
Fun night, Wisp?
Yes. Thank you very much. I would ask how yours was, but I know mine was better, so only share if you feel the need.
It was normal. Excuse me, barkeep.
Oh, yes?
How much for one of these?
Oh, 1 gold piece.
I have that.
All right. I know they're a bit steep, but they're a little difficult to make.
I have that.
And she takes your gold piece, and she gives you one of these pastries. And when you bite into it, it actually has layers to the filling. So the top layer is this chocolate, really rich, almost fudgy ganache. And then you have the middle with this like berry jam. And then the bottom is cream. And it's like really sweet, almost cheesecake. And like all of these ingredients you would know, Anu, are very easy to come by because the elves actually source all of these ingredients from things either here in the forest or that they cultivate themselves. And they're able to do so with their nomadic lifestyle. But they are less easy to cultivate outside of elven clans because most don't breed kangarams for their milk outside of here because they're kind of temperamental.
Okay. I'm gonna cut it in half and slide some. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry. Wow, why am I blanking on? I just want to say basket bar. Nim! Just want some to Nim. And after that, I give on top of the gold coin. I believe I have like a nickel.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? It's gold, silver, and bronze, right?
Uh-huh.
I slide a extra silver piece with there.
Okay. She will take it and nod, thank you. That right there is my own recipe. It's been passed down through about 12 lives that I know of. And it is some of the best falashana you will ever eat.
I say, thank you so much, Anu. I'm looking forward to tasting this as soon as I regain feeling in my tongue.
Yeah, I'll regain the feeling in your tongue.
You did pretty well on your constitution save. You can feel your tongue. It's just very intense.
It's a bit
You can feel your tongue,
singed.
which means you can feel all the pain. It never numbs. So I'm gonna start with the normal breakfast and save the pastry as a final thing, and I am gonna be savoring that when I get to it.
Okay. And as she starts wiping just the last few glasses, because the morning, as you've probably surmised, is her closing time usually. So she's like at her middle of the night stage for a normal bar. And she's wiping down her glasses and she kind of turns back a little bit and she's like, any plans for the day?
I look at everybody and start nibbling on my pastry like, what are we up to?
Wisp, what are we up to?
Just fall to me. I mean, I suppose we can just try and get our bearings a little bit. I'm guessing Mask has those other two under control. Just trying to think where there is to go or who to consult with now that certain unnamed parties are no longer an issue. Oh, what was the name of the lion lady?
Are you asking me or are you asking them?
Yes, I'm asking you, Stephen.
Jakira.
I wonder if we should touch base with Jakira again.
Like a good idea. It couldn't hurt, and honestly, it's not like we can make our way back to the castle today. Giselle is not in traveling form, so Jakira seemed to know what was going on.
Yeah, at the very least, it feels like a thread to pull. See what garments unravel.
I will be leaving my garments on, thank you.
I'm not pulling your threads, Nim. It's fine. I am going to look real quick to see if there are any loose threads on her clothes.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
That would be a 14.
Nim, how do you keep your clothes? Do they have loose threads or not so much?
They were pretty good at the start of the adventure, but I did get burned several times by Giselle. So, I mean, there might be an issue here or there.
Okay. All right. As you guys are continuing your little breakfast, you notice that everything around you grows almost eerily silent, as if a calm before a storm. And then you suddenly hear blaring horns outside. You hear people begin shouting in the streets and in their houses. And you realize that some sort of commotion is going on outside. And you hear what sounds like the noises of combat, like melee combat with metal weapons. And you hear the occasional roaring. And the barkeep, immediately she runs to a window from that's sort of made of crumbling wall and looks out, and she turns to all of you. Someone's come, they're attacking. We need to hide. We need to hide. Like, right away.
I pull out my crossbow. Who hides? No.
She runs downstairs, and you hear her knocking furiously on the door where Masquerade is with Giselle, Gareth, and the rest of them. And you hear her say, "The Aslari! They've come! How did they find us? How did they get in?" And that is what's going on at the moment. How are you reacting?
Do we recognize the name Aslari?
You would make a history roll to tell me how much you know.
Can I make that roll too?
Mm-hmm.
11.
11.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay.
12.
12. So, anew. The rest, well, all of you would know. Let's start with what all of you know. All of you know that the Aslari are a people of humanoid lions. Jakira is one of them.
Oh.
And they are renowned for being zealots who conquer others. Anu, you having a little bit more information would know that they enforce their religion wherever they go. Their religion is in the Pride, which is a pantheon of Aslari deities, and they believe that everyone has their own path of life written in the stars. They call it their star map. And wherever they go, they intend to impose people following their star map, which more or less amounts to a pseudo-communism. So that's what you know. When peaceful means don't work, they will come in forcefully. And knowing your people and how the elves resist anyone coming in to conquer them, given their history, this is probably the situation where they are now using force.
I'm pulling out both crossbows. Goddamn lizard zealots.
I'm going to take a peek at the window, see if I can get a sense of, like, numbers.
Okay. So you peek out the window, and you immediately see about 36 fighting civilians and soldiers alike. You do notice that a lot of the civilians of these elves seem to be armed and seem to be prepared for combat. Like, despite their relatively small numbers, the elves seem to be pretty capable of defending themselves. Using the terrain to their advantage, a lot of them are actually using the ruins to, like, get positions of vantage, or even, like, bouncing off of them with acrobatic finesse. You see...
Okay, so
you go ahead.
When you said several dozen, was that several dozen of the elves or several dozen of the Aslari?
Several dozen of the Aslari. It looks like there's about 3 Aslari to 1 elf right now. But you see there are even teenagers defending themselves. You see one young man. He reaches up, and you see his hands start glowing with this purple-blue fire. And he throws his hands in the ground, and the stones crumble as he reaches his fingers deep underneath. And you see vines erupt, breaking apart the cobblestones of the street, ensnaring about 3 Aslari. So they have mages among their people as well that are fighting this.
I'm not in a running mood. I don't know about anybody else.
Nope.
Doesn't seem like there's many places to run. So.
All right.
All right. You hear Masquerade shout from the hallway that they'll take everyone somewhere safe.
Good. I like that plan. Okay. So, looking out the doorway, is there any, like, short sprint to cover spots?
Yes, there definitely are. This is a ruin, and so there are even pieces of buildings that have fallen in the streets, and so it makes the place even more labyrinthine, but it makes it great for cover.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of like do a little dodge roll out the door,
Okay.
Into the nearest cover, so I can get the best sense and lay of the land.
Okay. All right. You managed to get behind this corner of the building that we're currently occupying. It seems that this corner has fallen and is now making a sort of cave, like four-walled situation that leans against the building itself. So you've got really good cover here.
Nice. I like that. So like what is within 60 feet?
Oh, you can find easily 4 Aslari soldiers.
Okay.
And 2 elves.
Do you want us rolling for initiative? Because I guess we're not technically in combat yet.
I was going to let each of you say what you're kind of setting up to do first, so that way everybody can be in an advantageous position.
Okay, so right now, how good of an assessment can I get of those ones that are nearest to me about the back cluster of elves versus Aslari? Who looks like they've got the upper hand right there?
It looks like the Aslari are about to get the upper hand, even though the elves are doubled out in number. So, like, the Aslari have 2 to 1.
Okay. I'm probably going to start with a plan to Sacred Flame one of the Aslari in the back of the head.
Okay. All right, so you're going to get ready to do that. And Anu, what are you doing? Sorry, I caught you at a bad time.
I'm catching the high ground. Is there a high ground somewhere?
Yes, there's absolutely a high ground. You can actually get on top of the same section of corner that Wisp is beneath.
Okay. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the high ground.
All right.
And I'm going to pick off one of the groups that's on top of another elf.
Okay. And Nim, what are you doing in all this?
I want to go and take cover where Wisp is, because I know that I am not the most capable fighter on my own.
Okay. Because you are running to where Wisp is, and you seem less intent on looking for targets, go ahead and give me a perception roll. 11. Okay. You do notice that it seems that there is a place where the barkeeper keeps the weapons of those who come to stay, and not everybody took their weapons back. So you can find a glaive and a longsword, which you could use.
Can I pick up both of them?
Sure, you can absolutely pick up both of them.
I'm going to pick up both of them and bring one to Wisp.
Okay.
Just in case.
All right. So
Can't hurt to have them.
Wisp is not proficient with the glaive, and you are.
Okay. I'm going to keep the glaive for myself. The glaive is the thing that, like, that doesn't...
It's a polearm.
Oh, okay.
It's a polearm that has a sort of axe head on it, but it's very close to the pole.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. And so, Wisp, you can take the longsword before we roll initiative if you want.
What are the stats on the longsword?
It's a basic longsword. Not even silvered.
Not even silvered. I mean, what's the damage on a basic longsword?
A D8, same as your rapier, but it doesn't use dex.
I'm not gonna equip it. I'm gonna keep using the rapier. I'm gonna keep it close though, because I'm. Do any of the elves within, I don't know, throwing distance look like they are in need of a weapon?
In fact, they do. one of the two elves that you noticed fighting the Aslari seems to be the main one that's having trouble because he doesn't have a weapon.
Okay, and about how close am I to them?
They are probably, let's see, 30 feet.
30 feet. Okay. I'm assuming trying to toss this to that would that count as an action or a bonus?
It would be an action.
That would be an action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can get it done before we roll initiative if you want.
My concern is getting their attention in a way that isn't going to like get them killed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So do you want to hold off for now?
No. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. I'm going to say, "Heads up! If you need a weapon," and I'm shouting it directly at that cluster. I don't care if I get all of their attention.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to toss the sword hilt first in a way that my intention is for it to get most of the way there in the air, land, and then skid and land at this guy's feet.
Okay. So I think this altogether would lump into a performance check because you're doing multiple things at once. And knowing Wisp, there's no way you're not doing this in a showy fashion.
That is a good point. That's a 16.
16 will absolutely succeed. So you manage to get his attention. It skids to his feet, and he quickly scoops it up and nods a thank you. And it is initiative.
All right. 18.
Well, they rolled badly.
Oh, I didn't
14.
Ooh.
14.
You both got 14?
Yep.
What are your dex mods?
0.
+2.
Okay. So, Wisp, you're up first then.
All right, we're Sacred Flaming as our first go.
Sacred Flaming. All right, dex save. That is a 2 on the die. There's no way that makes it.
Light 'em up.
No, it does not. Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna do 2d8. That will be 6 points radiant damage.
6 points of radiant damage. Okay, so describe how this happens.
So, I mean, I've already got their attention at this point. And so I'm going to do one quick full spin and sort of level my hand like this and then sort of do this motion. But on the second one is when the flame opens up right above their head in a rainbow pattern, of course, and lands square on the scalp.
Okay, and as she looks up, you see this like disbelief briefly as this rainbow fire tornadoes and engulfs her briefly. And you guys see she shouts and deal your damage.
That was 6.
6 damage. So she seems to already have been fairly worn from whatever fighting she's been doing. And so she's looking like she's hurting pretty bad at this point, even from just 6. And Anu, you're up.
Okay. I think I'm just gonna. How many people are we closest to?
So there are 4 Aslari and 2 elves in this area that you've kind of picked as your battlefield.
Okay. I'm gonna take out one of the Aslaris.
Okay.
Which I'm gonna just crossbow one of them.
Okay. Are you aiming it at the one who was just hit or at a new one?
Let me get a new one.
Okay. Okay. So go ahead and roll to attack.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. Okay. All
24.
right. So you do actually technically have an ally adjacent right now because the elves are considered your allies because you've taken their side. So with that being said, that means you get your sneak attack. So your sneak attack dice automatically maximize in addition to your weapon damage, and then you roll all of it again and add your dex mod.
Okay, what?
Okay, how many sneak attack dice do you have?
Where would I find that?
You are currently level...
Oh, there it is. Okay, I have 2d6.
Okay, you have 2d... You should have more than that. You are a level 5 rogue.
Oh, I didn't level up yet.
Oh, well, that's a thing. That's important. Okay, so I'm just going to look super quick. This is why we like D&D Beyond, because we can just look things up like that. I pull up rogue. You should have 3d6 for your sneak attack.
Alright. Isn't there a way to level me up real quick, right?
Yes. Yeah, if you just push a button, it's super quick.
Okay. Edit character.
So you have 3d6, so that's 18. Your crossbow's another d6, that's 24. So your base is 24 damage before you roll all those dice and add your dex mod.
Okay. Alright, now let's go back to my... Alright. Oh, wow. My dice also went up. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, 3d6. So I'm going to do my sneak attack first, and then do my hits, and then do it all again?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Well, you maximize it. So your base is 24, and just roll it all.
Okay. Hang on. That was 8 for that, and then 7 for that, and then I do it again?
Yep.
Okay. 8, 7, 8. 8, 7, 8, 5.
8, 7, 8, 5. Okay, so that is 15. 8. So, wow. 8, 8. Something went wrong there. Okay, you're rolling the 3d6 and 1 or 4d6 total, right? 8, 7, 8, 5. That you can't get a 7 or an 8.
My crossbow is 1d6 plus 2.
Oh, it's plus. Oh, you're adding your dex mod to every one of those. You add your dex mod at the end.
Okay.
That's where. It messed
I was
up.
just hitting the button, so it was doing it automatically.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you're basically going to roll just 4d6.
Okay, 4d6.
And then you're going to add your plus 2.
Okay. Let me just get 46. Is there, because I don't see a way to just do 46.
Or plus 3.
Alright.
Yeah, plus 3. There should be a little dice icon in the bottom corner of D&D Beyond.
Okay.
And then you click it and it opens up a little tab.
Wait, okay, what did you say to click?
In the bottom left corner.
Oh, okay.
Yep, there should be a little thing that's like a D20 and then it opens up to all different shapes.
Oh,
click the cube 4 times and then roll.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
And then
11.
add your... Okay, 11. And then add your dexterity modifier.
2, so 13.
Okay, 13 plus 24. So that ends up being 37. So you did 37 damage. So describe his grisly demise as you choose this other Aslari. He's got this 2-handed axe that he's using, and you see the axe actually has a blade on both ends, and he's been twirling it. And you just, what do you do to take down this hulking behemoth of an Aslari?
I pop him in both knees.
Okay.
Then, because he's twirling it, so if anything, I'm gonna try to make sure the way I hit him at an angle, he hurts himself.
Okay. Okay, so you get him in both knees, and as you do, he goes to twirl it, and he fumbles, falls, the axe blade catches on the cobblestone, and goes up and gets him right in the neck. And this blood just pours all over the cobblestone pavement, and he is down. There are now only 3 Aslari. Nim, you're up.
Okay, so there are 3 Aslari. How close am I to them? Not very close, right? Like.
You are about 30 feet away.
Okay. I want to stay where I am. I don't want to jump into the fray yet. I am waiting for them to kind of make an attack or something so that I can do something else.
Okay.
So I'm going to save my action.
Okay.
Or whatever.
You're saving your action. Okay. So, you want to wait until they attack someone? Is that what you said?
Yeah, well, yes. I'm going to kind of bank on them not seeing us quite yet, even though they're probably going to see us soon, given that one of their compatriots had their knees exploded.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
I did also kind of make a show of my attack. I think they might have.
Yeah, they notice
did.
You. They notice you.
That's true. That's true. I draw a lot of attention.
So, Nim, give me a stealth check. Actually, let's see how you do.
11.
11.
That's my number tonight. What the hell?
Okay. So, they seem to have noticed the pair of legs standing conspicuously close to the one that ducked underneath the wall and ended up summoning the fire.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have an action prepared, though, for when they go to hurt someone. And it is their turn, so they're about to hurt someone. Mm-hmm. So, you see this lady who was previously standing over an unarmed elf and then got sacred flamed, and her opponent got armed. And she whirls, and she snarls at Wisp, and you see her reach for this bandolier that she has across her chest, and she whips out a knife, and it flies toward Wisp. So your action triggers before she throws that knife.
Can I do a distraction?
Absolutely, you can do a distraction.
Okay, so make the creature make a saving throw. Mm-hmm. What kind of saving throw is it?
It should be a wisdom saving throw. But she got a 2 on the die. There's no way that makes it.
Okay, so if they fail the saving throw, they're interrupted. And that's DC 8 plus charisma plus proficiency bonus. So wait, what does that mean?
So that means you are at a 14 DC. Because your bonus is +3, your proficiency is +3. Base 8, so 11, 14.
Okay.
So your DC is 14. She gets an 8. They have really good charisma, and she still failed. Well, she has good charisma because she's leading them for this section. Mm-hmm. So, what are you doing?
So my distraction, I've got that glaive, and it looks real awkward when I'm holding it. But as she reaches to make her attack, I just kind of come up in front of her and say, "Hey, I don't think so," and then.
Okay.
That's my distraction.
All right. So she does not throw a knife, as she is just holding her arms back, trying to avoid being hit by this waving, wild weapon. So, Wisp, you are not attacked with the dagger. However, her ally, who's right next to her, is going to attack Nim now.
Oh!
That is a 12 versus your armor class.
It doesn't hit!
Okay, so as you're waving this thing wildly, you smack this other double-bladed axe out of the way with a loud clang.
I'm very surprised by it too. Like, oh hey.
And the other Aslari, he is going to try to attack the other elf that they were heckling. Seeing his ally fall, he is going to attack the elf while glaring at Anu. And
coming back in 15 minutes.
So Anu, as you shot this Aslari in the knees and felled him, his companion looked up at you. He looks at the elf in front of him, takes this double-bladed axe, twirls it, and slice, and cuts him down as the elf begins choking and falls into an already forming pool of his own blood. And then he roars at you.
Oh. Someone's getting a headshot.
And that is all of them, I think. Nope. I get one more. One more gets an action. And she is going to go for Wisp with a 13. Does that hit you?
It
13
does not
is my... Oh, go ahead.
It was me she was going for.
Oh, Wisp.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, she does not... How is she coming at me?
So she actually holds her hand out, and when she does, you see this blue fire sort of forms between her fingers and becomes a ball as it and
so she's
flies towards you.
So she's coming at me with magic.
Yes.
That's what I'm asking, because like how she's coming at me determines what a possible reaction.
Gotcha.
So yeah, no, that doesn't hit.
Okay, so it flies by your head and misses. And Wisp, it's your turn now.
Okay, so there's the one who just shot the fire at me.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that's basically right near Nim.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Who's very hurt.
And that one's already very hurt.
Uh-huh.
Okay. How close am I to that one?
You are within 30 feet.
God damn it, Steven. It's always 30 feet. Jesus. All right, I'm just going to go in with the rapier on that one, I think.
Okay.
So that's an 18 to hit.
18. All right. So, oh wait, why am I rolling a saving throw? I don't know what's wrong with me. 18 hits. They have an armor class of 15. Don't pay attention to me.
Okay, so rolling for damage. That's 10.
10. Describe her gruesome demise.
I am... So I sort of dash in. I'm actually going to aim for like a flat bit of stone as I get closer to her so that I can skid and kind of slide in sideways for the very end of it and come in right there in the throat.
Okay, you get her right there in the throat and she falls over. And she is now dead. Anu, it's your turn.
All right, I'm shooting the one dude in the head.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 will absolutely hit.
Yeah. And this is no longer a sneak attack, so I just do my damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
6.
6. Okay. So, you fire at him, and where did you aim?
Face.
His face. You aim for his face, and it pegs him in the shoulder. As it gets him, but it doesn't quite kill him. And he snarls at you once again. Nim, you're up.
And so we have like 3 people still, or 2?
You have 2 now.
Okay. I just want to start swinging this glaive at the closest person.
Okay, so that would be the mage.
Oh shit. Okay. Let's do this.
All right, roll an attack roll, and you are proficient, so you get your proficiency bonus.
Okay. Ooh, natural 20.
Natural 20. Whoo! Oh wait, you're level 5, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what that means?
No.
You get battle cunning. So you actually get to use your intelligence instead of your strength or dexterity.
Ooh. Well, this is fun.
So yeah. So you actually got a +3, which is a natural 20, so it still works. So a glaive is going to deal. Let me make sure I get this right. A glaive deals 1d10 slashing damage.
D10. Where'd it go? One.
1 plus your intelligence modifier.
Oh, so 4. That's not too
4.
bad.
Okay, so you actually look like you hurt her pretty well. As you get her with this glaive, you kind of just jab it and it nicks her on the side. And it is now her turn. Oh, shoot. All of her spells are ranged. And she's engaged in melee by you. So she's going to have to take disadvantage.
Yes. That's what happens when I slice.
Okay, so her first roll against you is a 12.
Does not hit.
All right, so you come in and you've got her on edge, and she kind of haphazardly throws this fire, and it just between you and Wisp, almost like she couldn't tell who she wanted to attack. And then the other guy, he is going to charge toward Anu. So he's going to run at the wall, and he takes a flying leap as he stows this double-bladed axe on this harness on his back, and he jams his claws into the moss-covered stone and starts climbing. Because he has a climbing speed, he can dash to Anu to make it into melee with you this round, but he cannot actually attack you yet. And that is their round. You see that the elf you armed with a sword is kind of just staring, just mouth agape at all of you. And he doesn't really know how to respond, it seems. And he's looking between the Azlari and then to you, Wisp, and then to Nim with this blinking awe. And
that was a waste of a good sword then, wasn't it?
And he looks at you when you say that. Oh, right. And he jabs at the lady.
Thank you.
And he hits. Okay.
There we go. Oh,
And
your
deals-
weight, man.
2 damage. So she is hurting. Wisp, it's your turn.
All right. What's the distance on the Azlari that's engaging Anu?
The distance on the Azlari engaging Anu, probably, well, if you count the height difference, it's about 40 feet. Because
That's
she
still within
perched up where you are.
That is still within sacred flaming range.
Okay. So he needs to make a dex save.
Yes, he does.
With a 14?
That meets it.
Okay, meets beats. So
Damn.
this fire comes over him, and you see he lets go of the wall and grabs onto it so that his back is now facing it. Like, he is very skilled at climbing, clearly.
As a bonus action, I'm giving Anu a bardic inspiration.
Okay.
I'm shouting out, "Oh, you could take this one single-handedly. I know you can."
Speaking of, Anu. what are you doing when you're informed you can take this single-handedly?
Oh, I'm taking it single-handedly.
Oh, sounds like a plan.
Now, is he still on the wall?
He is on the wall, and now his back is to it. So he is, in the most technical sense, prone, as far as you're concerned.
Ooh, how do I want to do this? Let me see. I am going to firebolt him.
Okay,
Wait.
You know that prone targets have advantage, or rather you have disadvantage against prone targets for ranged attacks. And advantage for melee.
Okay, advantage. Okay, alright. So I got a dagger or I got a fist. Well, my dagger actually does damage, whereas my fisticuffs kind of just automatically does 3. Alright, yep. I'm gonna die. Okay, so he's on the wall. Do I want to jump down and kind of like hit him that way?
I don't know. You're the acrobatic one with your swinging from the chandelier nonsense. He is not a chandelier, though.
We can turn him into one after this is over.
Right.
Oh, it's a lovely chandelier. What's it made of? Bone.
There actually is such a thing, in the world, in the Czech Republic.
I was gonna say this is in some part of Eastern Europe. I know.
All right. I'm gonna jump down, hang, and go at him with my dagger.
Okay. So you have advantage, which means you get your sneak attack.
Yay! All right. So roll a hit with dagger, right? Okay.
And you have advantage, so you roll twice and take the higher.
24.
Absolutely hits.
Yeah, I'm taking the higher one. All right, and then
4d6.
4d6. 1,
Plus
2,
3.
4. Plus 3. Okay. 15.
15. Okay. Describe how you fell him.
All right. I jump down and stab him in his eye.
Oh. So he didn't get that headshot until now.
Yeah.
You jump down, and as you do, he looks up, and you drive this dagger into his eye. He lets out a roar that fades as he lets go, and you both start falling. Make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Dexterity saving throw.
Yes.
17.
Absolutely. So you land, and as you land, you shove off of him so that he doesn't even land on you. You tumble forward and get to your feet easily.
Superhero landing.
Yes, superhero parkour nonsense. And there is a mage left. Nim, how are you dealing with this mage?
I want to slice again with this glaive.
Okay, make an attack roll.
You're taking to this thing now, aren't you?
A little bit, I'm trying to. 7?
7 does not hit. So that makes it her turn. She's going to attack you, but she has only ranged spells. Dang it, she has a roll with disadvantage. That was a really good roll, too. Watch this one suck. Okay. 15 versus your armor class.
That hits.
Okay, here we go. 9 fire damage as she sort of goes back and whoom, and it just blasts you in the chest, charring your nice dress that has a few loose threads because of the adventuring. And she's still up. Wisp, it's your turn.
All right. So, at this point, distance to Nim and this lady?
The distance is... You're right there. You're in melee with them. Because you were in
I'm
melee
right there?
last time. Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you say right there, like 30 feet, 15...
5 feet.
5 feet?
Yeah.
Great. I'm charging.
Okay.
I have been dying to use this friggin' feat forever.
Okay.
And I've never been close enough.
You absolutely can do it.
All right. 21.
21 absolutely hits.
All right. So that's 2d6 for the damage. 6 damage.
Woo! Nim! You watch as Wisp charges forward to ram into this lady. And,
Oh, she's getting the horns.
Oh, okay. So, Nathaniel,
Yes.
please describe for me her grisly demise.
I am charging. I mean, I'm already short, but I'm charging in low. I'm coming in under the rib cage and up with the head. So not only am I bashing her, I want to send her soaring.
You absolutely succeed at doing that. She flies, and you hear this crunch as she smacks into the wall behind her. And the limp body falls to the ground.
Okay.
And you guys
And,
see there's still a lot of combat going on.
Yeah, no. As a bonus action,
Okay.
I'm doing healing word on Nim.
Okay.
Thank you.
So let me get it's this. So 1, 3. I say to her, "Don't worry, we got this."
Okay.
And that is 4 points of healing.
4
you.
points of healing. And you now see that you have cleared this part of the street, and you watch behind you as you see a familiar, colorful form shift into one of the Aslari. Like these scales almost fold over, changing the clothes and everything. And you see that that once colorful jester is now an Aslari escorting a large Iridian man, a draconic sorcerer woman, and a young child. Because it looks like you guys are confused, Masquerade has shifted into one of the Aslari.
I figured it out after
Yeah.
a second.
Like, that's what
I was like, wait.
It took me a minute, but I got it. Okay, cool.
I was just like, did someone kidnap him? I'm like, no, that must be Mask.
Yes.
Okay, so can we tell like where they're going? Is there anyone in their path that like are they in danger of being spotted or confronted?
You see that it looks like they are until you hear a crash from around a nearby building, and you see the innkeeper and your last night's companion, Wisp, distracting intentionally the Aslari and run off, and the Aslari chases them down a side street, clearing the way for Mask and the rest of them.
Love it. Okay, so they seem to be doing all right. What else? Oh God, what's the nearest skirmish?
So there are skirmishes everywhere, and actually this looks like pretty much the only one, realistically, that, well, you guys go ahead and give me an investigation check. If you'd rather, you may make history or insight.
So that's 17.
Wait, you said investigation or insight history?
Uh-huh. Any of those three.
I'm gonna do
9.
insight.
9.
15.
17, 15. So both Anu and Wisp, you guys can surmise that this was probably the only skirmish that was really winnable by you guys.
Okay, well, I guess we will cover the escape of Mask and the others. I mean, I'm gonna head that way. I'm not gonna rock up right next to them because I don't want it to look like we've surrounded an Aslari. but I want to keep them in sight and be moving from cover to cover in their wake.
Okay. You can definitely do that. So, cool. You are kind of covering for them. I need 3 different rolls, and you guys can choose who makes what roll. Okay? So I need a stealth. Or deception. You can choose stealth or deception. I need an investigation or survival, and then athletics or acrobatics. So this is a complex skill test. You guys need to succeed on 2 out of the 3 rolls.
Acrobatics would be my best bet to take.
I can do deception or survival.
I'll do stealth.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and make those rolls.
22.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
I'm going to use an inspiration.
Is it just me or are we
17.
It's just me or we killing it tonight? Because I feel like we're killing it.
You really are. So you guys watch as you're running through these streets and you see men, women, otherwise, and children all being cut down by the Aslari, or in some cases kneeling before them in submission. You see that more are submitting than are being cut down at this point. It seems that most have more of a survival instinct than to want to fight until the death. Most that kneel are bloodied, so they have been fighting, with the exception being those that have a lot of children. And you're realizing that definitely within the hour, probably within the half hour, the entire clan will fall to the Aslari. But you do succeed.
I ain't happy.
You do succeed at getting Mask and them out safely, stealthily, and without being noticed yourselves. And you now find yourselves on the edge of the ruin. You see that where the ruin was crumbling before, it now looks even more so, because before it was being reclaimed with nature. And the moss, the vines were taking over these ruins and crumbled walls and whatnot. Now, the moss and vines are burned away or torn off, replaced with scorch marks, blood stains, and new, fresh cracks. You still hear screaming in the distance. You still hear people protesting or begging for mercy. Everyone can give me a perception roll if you want to notice one last thing.
17.
17. 18.
18.
All of you succeed. You see Jakira standing at the top of the steps of the temple watching all of this happen. She is not sad. She is not shocked. Her chin is raised as she looks down. And just the faintest prick of a smile curls her lips.
All right, then. Don't have time to deal with that, but all right. So I'm assuming we're out and we're clear of the city?
You absolutely can be. As you guys make your way into the forest, you find yourselves now in the middle of the same forest that you were previously in before you got caught up in all of this. And what's probably most alarming to Nim, more so than the rest of you, being that she's kind of made her home here, the Azlari are really close to Dorian. And the Azlari have never pierced into Voiré, ever. This is a Voiresian forest, even though it's inhabited by moon elves. That means it's probably only a matter of time.
I want to share that with everybody. And then also, well, this is something that we'll need to take back to the palace because this is going to be a concern. And well, if they're doing this to adult moon elves, I don't know what would happen if they got further or if they found, I don't know, weaker people or it's smaller settlements. This is going to be a problem. We haven't seen the last of them.
We should get to the palace as soon as we possibly can and just make sure people know what's going on.
We'll definitely be back.
So I guess we start moving.
Okay. Anyone who wants to can give me a survival check.
24.
24.
That's a nat 1.
Nat 1.
10.
10. Okay, so Anu, you're really struggling. Maybe part of it is the scenes you've just watched unfold of your people being cut down, but something's distracting you from being able to adequately focus. Wisp, you just are not used to this. Like, you like the open road to the extent there's a road to be open on, and this trees and forest is bullshit. Nim, you know exactly where you are because you aren't incredibly far from where you grew up and called home. You know this forest pretty well, actually. So you can easily find your way where you need to be.
Okay. I want to turn to my comrades. Where are we headed?
Castle. Yes. I'm not trying to take control here. I don't know where else we can go right now.
Mm-hmm. We should go get Mask and Giselle, right? Or are they already on their way?
We kind of followed them out, didn't we? Steven, or
are we still near them?
They are about 20 feet off from you guys, and you actually see Nim. You have something in your pocket. It's a note. And it says,
you just gave me
let's meet at the Capitol.
For the,
I show everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The Capitol. The penmanship, I'm going to assume maybe Giselle helped, but let's meet at the Capitol.
All right, then. Let's do that.
So, you guys make your way toward Dorian. Nim easily leads you toward the main road where you can find your way without much issue. And you make your way toward Voiré. As you're traveling on the road through the forest, we're going to see what happens. I'm going to make a roll. Oh. As you are traveling along the road, you see a broken down cart up the way. And a man kicking the wheel. The horse that was once pulling the cart is whinnying. It seems that the wheel itself has snapped and part of it's broken off. It's wood. And you hear cursing in Voiresian.
Oh dear. Looks like we have a bit of a mishap up ahead.
Do you approach or do you do something else?
I want to look to Wisp and then to Anu and say, is this one of those situations where we should help, or one of these situations where we should be a little wary of travelers? I will say that I have never been mugged on these roads before, but, given the events of earlier today, I'm not interested in taking any chances.
It's not mugging I'm worried about. It's the fact that if I can't fix a broken wheel, I don't know if either of you can. The only way that I would know that we could help him would be to carry his stuff for him, and I don't think we can afford to lose the time to offer to do that.
Anyone who wants to may make a history roll or religion, your choice.
8.
18.
5. All right. So Wisp, you do notice he's wearing these blue robes with purple on the mantle, and these would indicate that he is actually associated with the Scriptoriad. And you rolled well enough to know that he's actually a Scriptoriad mage. So he's one of the wizards who calls the Scriptoriad home. He's a legal mage, actually. And he's kicking and cursing, and what am I supposed to do now? No guard? No wagon? Can't walk?
Which way is Stephen, which way is the wagon pointed? Is it pointed as if he was going in the direction we're already going?
Yes. Cannot walk. Walking is for commoners.
Works just fine for me.
Oh, please don't take my money. I have no money.
So we shouldn't take your money, or you don't have it. Which one is it?
Oh. Well, shit.
Don't get out much, do you?
No, I'm the Scriptoriad, down south. I was headed to Dorian, and my driver, and he sort of looks, and you see there's a driver lying on the ground.
What happened?
Heart attack, I think.
Does he look old enough that a heart attack makes sense, or would that be odd?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. he looks old enough, and the mage looks and says, "The cart went out of control. I managed to get control, but the wheel broken. Now I have no way to the capital, no way to contact my order to explain what happened to the guard. He's actually a paladin, just not wearing his armor, They have to accompany us wherever we go."
You seem to be headed in the same direction we are. Is there anything in that cart that absolutely needs to be brought, or can it be left?
Yes, actually. We need to take these. And he opens the door and starts grabbing bunches of scrolls in his arms. And he's got 2 armloads. He's like, "We need to take these for sure."
Okay. Are there saddlebags or anything on the horse or in the cart that could be put on the horse?
There are.
Okay. I'm grabbing those. Whatever's in them is getting dumped.
Okay.
I don't care.
Mostly
putting
food.
Those, yeah, dumping it. We're going fast. We're going light. I really don't have time for this. So I'm putting the saddlebags on the horse. I'm telling him to put the scrolls in the bags. And then I ask him, "Can you ride?"
No, what do I look like? A rider?
That's what I thought. You take the reins, lead the horse, follow us.
Oh, okay. I don't even know his name.
The horse's
like me to
name or
name
the
him
dead
for you?
guy's name?
The horse's name. The dead guy was Kevin. Kevin was terrible. I don't feel bad for him.
Good to know.
My name is Theopold.
Wisp.
Pleasure.
Nim.
Well, hello, my fine lady. And he takes your hand and tries to kiss it.
Oh, all right then.
You are very well worn and scorched.
It's been a day.
Yes, that's exactly what it's been. It's been a day, and we should continue. I should very much like to get back to the city to change my clothes. That would be fantastic. Maybe to have a nice warm dinner that isn't made with sun peppers. That would be a delight.
And then he looks at Anu. Are you with that one?
Am I with that one?
No, he's asking them if they're with you.
Is that a problem?
He leans in and whispers, if you're in trouble, blink.
I'm staring him dead in the face and say again, is that a problem?
No, some of... I mean, we have an elf at the scriptorium.
Don't finish that sentence. Let's go.
Also, sir, just to be honest, if anyone in this setting is in trouble, it is you, because you lost your wagon, you lost your Kevin, you don't know your horse's name. So if you could just follow us and we could be done with this, it would be fantastic. I very much just want to get back to the palace. We have work to do. There's so much going on, so many things to report. It has been perhaps the most absurd series of events that have ever occurred in my life, and I'm going to need you to stow it with the racism.
Oh, you have things to report as well? Are you going to the scriptorium in Dorian too?
No.
We've got our own things to deal with. Let's
Who are you
walk
reporting to?
while we let's walk and talk if we're gonna talk.
Okay, very well. Who are you reporting to? Who's your superior?
Nim looks at him. Your mother. Just keeps walking, clomping her heels as much as she can.
Oh, I'm dying. Oh.
In character, Wisp does actually lose it for a minute.
Theopold does not lose it in character. I just have no self-control. Oh my. He sort of like gives you a glance and looks to all of you. You are a rather motley crew.
We are the motley few, my friend. Get a move on.
Is that supposed to mean something to me?
It will
I don't
someday.
really care if it does.
Oh, you know, we were nearly accosted by Aslari bandits on the way here.
I believe it.
Thankfully, they seem to have no interest in us.
You're lucky then.
Be that as it may, what is your business in Dorian, if you don't mind my asking? Like, clearly I'm going to the scriptorium.
We are going to somewhere other than the scriptorium.
I see. Well, I have to say that at least Dorian is even more accommodating than the scriptorium when it comes to mages these days. Might even be treated like I should be, properly. You know, I have noble blood. But, you know, damned magic. Sometimes it lands you in the scriptorium.
Fascinating. That's really fascinating.
Yeah. But I can do this. And he like leans over to Nim and he holds his hands out and just like these sparkles start popping in between his hands. Impressive, right?
Well, that's real neat, but you know, let's just keep being on our way. I appreciate your sparkles, I suppose. Thank you.
You know, they're about to give me a license to cast level 2 spells.
Well, that would be great, but they'll never do that if you never get back to the scriptorium. So, shall we make some haste?
Steven, Did you say he had like a cloak or a hood or a hat or anything like that?
He has a mantle that has a hood on it.
Okay, is it currently up or is it down?
It's down.
Can I use prestidigitation to blow it up over his head?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do that.
Just whoo. Like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, the winds around here are terrible. And he pulls the hood back down.
I'll wink at Nim. It's not a sexy wink. It's just I can don't wink. I have to distinguish. I have to distinguish with.
So it seems that all of you are of some import as you are making a report. No.
Look,
talk so much.
I can't tell.
We've had a real long day, and a real long few days prior to that. So we've got a lot to unpack within ourselves. I can't speak for anyone else. I'm not up for unpacking my stuff for you.
Oh, I feel that, my friend. And he drapes an arm over your shoulder. Let me tell you, I've had a day too. My driver had a heart attack, but he was terrible, so it was actually kind of a good thing. But the ride where we almost died was not great, and then I could not fix the car. I haven't had lunch yet. This is terrible. Like, I feel that in my soul about the day.
All right, this is out of character, but Steven, I don't know if you realize how tempted I am to offer him a poison cherry. The only reason I'm not is I don't know how deadly these are. If I was confident it was only going to give him a sour stomach, I would so do it.
You know, actually, I do have one thing I was supposed to deliver, but I don't think I'm going to be able to deliver it when I explain I lost my paladin. Because it was supposed to be for the Inquisition. They are a separate religious order. And, well, if I come without my paladin from their order, they may suspect something foul. So, do you think you might be able to deliver it for me?
What is it exactly?
It is a ring, and it detects magic. And he pulls it out, and when he pulls it out, it starts glowing as he holds it out to you. Oh, you have magic. Very interesting. And then he holds it over to Nim, and he's like, you don't. That's comforting.
Can I do a quick insight check on this guy, on his story up to this point?
Sure.
That is a 19.
19. He seems genuine in his story. He genuinely seems like just a buffoon.
It's comforting.
Good, yes, that's always comforting. He's not deceptively stupid. He's genuinely stupid. That's great. So, who does this need to be given to?
The Inquisition.
Stephen, remind me, would I know if that would like be out of our way on the way to the palace, or
make a religion check. 7. Okay. So you would not know if that would be out of the way or not, because the Inquisition is a religious order, sort of like the Scriptoria. They serve one of the 8 gods, the Octheon of the humans. And they are renowned for keeping information secret that needs to be secret, finding out information that needs to be learned, and propagating information that they think is important to be propagated or spun a certain way. They have paladins. They definitely believe in finding and dealing with magic. And nobody knows where to find their base of operations unless they've run afoul with them before.
Not to put too fine a point on it, but I, as you may have already figured out, I don't think it's in my best interest to hand over something like that to a group like the Inquisition.
Oh, that's fair. But how about this then? In exchange for this lovely ring, which I apparently lost when my driver had a heart attack and we nearly died from the cart crash, perhaps I could leave it in your hands in exchange for you to protect me on the way to Dorian?
I mean, you know, if you lost a ring, and if I happened to notice something on the road and pick it up and pocket it for myself, that's neither here nor there. And we're certainly happy to help you while you're in our presence.
Well, thank you very much. And he leans over to Nim, and thank you very much, too.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
And then he leans to Anu. I think she likes me.
We all have our delusions.
Delusions. I know that word. It's something you cast, I think, right?
Yes.
Close, yeah.
I wonder if I can cast illusion. Maybe I need to learn that spell.
You get that second level license. Now come on, let's keep going.
That must be what it is. It must be one of those second level spells. You know, I'm an expert in second level spells. Or I will be very soon. And
very happy for you.
So, at any point in this, does the ring actually change hands? I want to confirm this.
Yes, he hands you
okay.
the ring. So you have
awesome
a ring of magic detection.
Nice.
It works a lot like a hot-cold game, where the closer it is to magic, the more it glows, but it also works with spellcasters. So if a spellcaster's wearing it, it's always glowing.
Ah. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm gonna put that in my pocket then, not on my person.
Okay. And as you continue your journey, we'll see if anything unpleasant happens. Nothing unpleasant happens.
That's good.
You guys make your way safely to Dorian. As you crest this hill on which Dorian is built, you see that it's actually built on a hill and into a mountain a little bit, such that the castle itself is built in the mountain. It is almost Disney-esque in its appearance, with its massive walls, high gates, and buildings stacked upon buildings in tiers. Vaguely like Minas Tirith, maybe a bit more like Divinity's Reach if you're familiar with Guild Wars 2. It is just this sprawling, huge city. It is the biggest city in the world. And while you guys are used to being in the upper part, where the palace is, this city is far more sprawling than that. You actually see towns exist outside of the walls as settlements with farms and all manner of shops. Like, it's actually, while a little slummy as such, like just because it's a much more packed and not fancy section, there are still like food places and bakeries and all the staples you would expect in a nice town or village. So yeah, it has like suburbs if suburbs were a little less nice.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you make your way through this area, you make your way through the city gates with the massive walls and find yourself in Dorian proper. So somewhere you are going to meet Masquerade in them. But that will be for another time. And as we close out, we will not have any sort of nasty plot twist because we had that in the middle this time. So you guys are now in Dorian. You can go to any shops you want. You can go straight to the palace if you want to get down to business. The city is yours to enjoy or not enjoy at your leisure. So that's where we're going to cut it for tonight.
Alrighty.
So thank you guys for gaming. Thank you all in the chat for joining. This has been a blast. We miss Robin desperately. Send good vibes to Robin. Feel better, Robin. And until next time, everybody. Well, I guess I should say too, SENITA was a trooper last time. She just powered through the nonsense. But yeah, everybody's got a little bit different stuff going on. So at any rate, whether it's on the page or at the table, everybody, you tell your story your way. See ya.